Last class we have started some distributions. This is a continuity of probability. Distributions or probability continuation. Index numbers are based on somewhat statistics. So last class we have started binomial distribution. If an event is conducted or even it is happening a finite number of times, maybe 1, 2, 3, 1 million, 2 million, as long as you know the number, it's okay. So it's a finite number of times. Each time it is being conducted, each happening of the experiment. If an experiment is conducted an n number of times, if a random experiment is conducted a finite number of times, each happening is called a trial. So we have a finite number of trials. So we call the number of trials is equal to n. I want to find the probability that out of the n trials, r times a particular event is happening. What do you mean by probability of x is equal to r? Probability that a particular event happens r times out of n times. For example, if I toss a coin 25 times, I want to find the probability that out of the 25 times, 6 times I get a hit. Six times we get a hit. So we say x is equal to 6. This is NCR P power R Q power n minus R. Now what is P and Q is the next question. The probability of a particular event happening once. Small p is equal to probability of an event happening once. Of that event happening once. Q is equal to probability of that event not occurring. So these are the quantities involved in binomial distribution. Because this looks like a binomial theorem statement in maths, we call this as a binomial distribution. The normal name in probability for this is called a Bernoulli distribution, named after the mathematician who invented this. Bernoulli distribution. I told you already, x is a random variable. That means we have a coding system for event. Each event is given a real number. The probability that x takes that real number is called a random variable. So P of x is equal to R. For example, if I toss a coin, if I roll a dice, say 10 times, what is the probability of getting a 5 4 times? So x is equal to number of times you get a 5. So in the 10 times, how many times a day we can get a 5? So x values can be 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 10. And n is equal to 10. What is the probability you want? You want to find what is the chance of getting a 5 4 times. So r is equal to 4. So probability that x takes the value of 4 is, formula is NCR. So 10C4. The probability of getting a 5 once is 1 by 6. 4 times we want it. Remaining 6 times we should not get it. So 5 by 6 power 6. This is compulsory. This is compulsory. Why? Because if I leave it openly, that 4 times you will get a 6. The remaining 6 times, 4 times you will get a 5. The remaining 6 times you may not get a 5 or may get a 5. So we have to be sure that you will not get a 5. Only then we will get exactly 4 times 5. The probability that x takes a value 4 is 10C4. Why 4? 10C4. Out of the 10 times, this 5 can come any 4 times. It can be first, second, third, fourth. It can be the last 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th times. So it can come into any 4. That is why we say 10C4. For one choice of 4, what is the probability of getting a 5 power 4? What is the chance of this? Because independent. One time what you get does not affect the other time what you are getting. So that is why we are multiplying. How do you calculate 10C4? Already I told you a shortcut. Don't go factorial notation. Start from 10, write 4 numbers in descending order by 1, 2, 3, 4. Divided by, totally you have 6 power 10 in the denominator, 5 power 6 in the numerator. So you can simplify and adjust. So for example, you have 3 3s are 9, 2 4 is 8. So you have 210 into 5 power 6 by 6 power 10. And according to the answer choice, you can adjust. Maybe you can cancel 1, 5, 6 here and get 35 here. Like that you can simplify. So basically this is the concept. The mean of a binomial distribution, I told you already, for a probability distribution, the mean is sigma xi pi. It is also called the expected value of a random variable x. This is called the expected value. This is called the expected value of x. This is also called the mean. This is also called the mathematical expectation. This is also called the x bar. In binomial distribution, x bar is n into p. The variance of the binomial distribution is npq. Therefore, standard deviation is equal to root of variance is equal to root of npq. So this is sigma square. This is sigma. There are some properties of binomial distribution. Generally, they will not ask you a descriptive question in the competitive exams. So they will ask you properties based questions only. That means if you have two random variables having this binomial distribution, what will happen to x plus y, x minus y? So all these questions can come. So that is what you have to really prepare. Suppose I have a random variable x which is a binomial distribution with n1 comma p. What do you mean by that? It is being conducted n1 times. Out of the n1 times, in one time, the chance of a particular event happening is p. Similarly, y is another random variable with a binomial distribution with parameters n2 comma p. Now, what is it? Then x plus y is also a random variable with a binomial distribution whose number of trials is n1 plus n2 and the probability is p of a particular event. So definitely they can ask you questions based on this. If 15 dates are selected at random, what is the probability of getting 2 Sundays? So totally you are selecting 15 dates. The probability of getting a Sunday is 1 by 7. The probability of not getting a Sunday is 6 by 7. So out of 15, any 2 Sundays you want. So probability of the number of Sundays equal to 2. So x is equal to number of Sundays. So this is 15C2 into 1 by 7 power 2 into 6 by 7 power, totally how many things? 30. So 15C2 you need not calculate with factorial. You can write 15 into 14 by 1 into 2 by totally you have 7 power 15. In the numerator you have 6 power 13. So you can reduce this 2 7s are 14. Here you have a 7 power 15. You have a 7 power 15. So 1 7 will cancel here. You will get a 14. So you get 15 times 6 power 13 by 7 power 4. Of course, you can simplify this according to the answer. Suppose I want to find. Now in this corona situation, this problem will look very similar. The incidence of an occupational disease in an industry is such that the workmen have 10% chance of suffering from it. So probability of workmen suffering from a certain disease is 10%. What is the probability that out of 5 workmen, 3 or more will contract the disease? Find the probability of, this is given. Find the probability of 3 or more workmen getting infected. So given that randomly one worker is selected, what is the chance that he will be infected because of the disease is 10%. So small, out of a group of 5 people, out of 5. So now n is equal to 5, r is equal to 3 or more. So we have to find 3 cases. And then probability of a person being affected is 1 by 10, 10 by 100, that is Q is 9 by 10. So the required probability is equal to P of x is equal to 3 plus P of x is equal to 4 plus P of x is equal to 5. In other words, we are saying at least 3 persons are suffering. So P of x is equal to 3. Out of 5, 3, C3. 1 person suffering chance is 1 by 10. So 3 persons are 1 by 10 power 3 into 9 by 10 power 2 plus 5C4 1 by 10 power 4 into 9 by 10 power 1 plus 5C5 into 1 by 10 power 5 9 by 10 power 0. So totally you see that 10 power 5 is there in all the terms. So 1 by 10 power 5 is common. 5C3 can be written as 5C2. Extra you have a 9 square. 1 9 can also be taken out, but we will not go that crazy. So 5C4 is same as 5C1 into 9 power 1 plus 5C5 is 1. Again 5C2 can be calculated in a shortcut. 5 into 4 by 1 into 2 into 81 plus 45 plus 1 46. So you have a 2. So you have a 1 by 10 power 5 into 810 plus 46. It can be simplified according to the need. So at least 3, this is the concept. Okay, suppose out of 10 people, what is the chance at least 3 are affected? Out of 10, that means we have to start from 3 and write till 10. So what is the shortcut? 1 minus P of x less than 3. Hello, mic testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a shortcut in probability distribution. Out of 10 people, what is the chance of at least 3 suffering? If I start fresh, I have to write 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 10. 7 terms I have to calculate. 8 terms. So instead of that, this is a faster way. So this is 1 minus P of x is equal to 0 plus P of x is equal to 1 plus P of x is equal to 2. So 1 minus P of x is equal to 0. 10C 0, 1 by 10 power 0 into 9 by 10 power 1 plus 10C1, 1 by 10 power 1 into 9 by 10 power, sorry, here it is 10. Here it is 9. Totally, if you add, you must get 10. Plus 10C2 into 1 by 10 power 2 into 9 by 10 power 8. So you see that 1 by 10 power 10 is common in all the terms. 10C0 is 1, power 0 is 1. So totally you will get 9 power 10 plus 10 into 9 power 9 plus 10C2 is 10, 9 by 1 cube into 9 power 8. The most important warning I'll tell you. If I want to multiply 10 into 9 power 9, there are many people who will write as 90 power 9. This is called a Sangay God. So please don't do this. Whenever we have a multiplication like this, first you have to do the power, then only you have to, this is an extension of BODMAS rule. First power, then only other multiplication. Again you can take 1 minus 9 power 8 is common factor by 10 power 10 into, you have a 9 square is 81 plus 1 9 power 8 is gone, extra 1. This 10 also can be taken out. Otherwise you can leave it. 2 5s are 10. So we have a 10 into 9 extra plus 45 extra. So this will be whatever simplification. Add answer. So whenever you have a large number of times and the question asked is greater than or equal to a smaller number which is less than half of that, it is better to do this kind of subtraction. So similarly, at most, suppose out of 10 times, I want to find the probability that at most 8 times you will get a at most 8 people are suffering. At most 8. That means here you have to start from 0 and write up to 8. So the easier way is 1 minus p of x greater than 9. Here if it is less than or equal to, opposite is greater than. Here it is less than, opposite is greater than or equal. So 1 minus p of x greater than 9, sorry, greater than 8. Because it is less than or equal to 8, it is greater than 8. So this is p of x is equal to 9 plus p of x is equal to 2. This is a very, very fast way. This is a shortcut. Please note the shortcut. In a binomial distribution, if they ask you at most 8 and you have totally 10 times, because the normal way is you have to write p of x is equal to 0 plus p of x is equal to 1 plus p of x is equal to 2 plus etc. p of x is equal to 8. So 9 terms we have to write. Instead of the 9 terms, as a shortcut, powerfully we are writing only 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. So this is 1 minus 10c9 into 1 by 10 power 9 into 9 by 10 power 1 plus 10c10 1 by 10 power 10. So this is a very, very easy calculation. It makes life very easy. So it is 1 minus so this is 1 minus 10c9 is same as 10c1. So 10. 10c9 is equal to 10c1. So it is 10c1 into 9 power 1 power 9 is 1. So 9 by 10 power 10 totally plus 10c10 is 1 into 1 by 10 power 10. So totally you will see that 1 minus 1 minus 1 by 10 power 10 is common. We get 10 into 9, 90 plus 1. So this is 1 minus 91 by 10 power 10. Any of this, you have a doubt, please ask. So we go to the next. You can post in the chat if you have a doubt. Okay, shall we go to the next? Now we are going to do some problems based on NP and NPQ. So these are all very hard questions. The other way of writing variance, this we have to take care. The variance of the binomial distribution I told you, this is NPQ. But you can also write this as NP into 1 minus P. Because Q is equal to 1 minus P. This way also you can write. So sigma is standard deviation. You can also write as root of NP into 1 minus P. So this is the other way of writing the same concept. You can also write as root of NPQ. Okay. The mean of a binomial distribution say x bar. X bar of a binomial distribution is 3 and the standard deviation is 1.5. N is what? The choices are 2, 4, 8, 12. Directly you can substitute and find the answer. Anyway, suppose I say n is 12, you know this is P. This is n into P. This is NPQ. So see whether we can go from the choice or you can divide first NP by NPQ or NPQ by NP, both ways. You can see this is 1.5 by 3, which is nothing but 2. 1 by 2. So this is Q. That means P is equal to 1 minus Q. So this is also 1 by 2 or 0.5. Now you can check. This is P. 12 into 2 into 0.5 is 3. Check. No, it is not coming. 4 into 0.5. 3 is not coming. There is one mistake in what we are doing. I don't know whether you are following it. Standard deviation is root of NPQ. So NPQ is 1.5 into 1.5. Standard deviation is root variance. So NPQ is 1.5 into 1.5 by NP by 3. So you will get, this is 1.52 times. So you will get this as 15 by 20. That is 3 by 4. This is Q. So what is P? 1 by 4. Now you can check which n you multiply here to get 3. So obviously 12 into 1 by 4 is equal to 3. Therefore, choice is D is the answer. So from the choice, if you proceed, it will come very fast. But without finding this, you cannot go from the choice. So we are going halfway in between. If the overall percentage of a success in an exam is 60, the probability of overall success in an exam equal to 60. That means if a person writes an exam, the chance that he will pass the exam is 60%. What is the probability that out of a group of 4 students, at least one has passed? Please understand the English here. That means if I say probability of success, overall success in an exam is 60%. What does it mean? That means if a person is randomly selected, the chance that he would have passed the exam is 60%. So out of 4, what is the chance that you have selected 1 and he has passed at least 1? So we have to find the probability of X greater than or equal to 1. That means you have to find 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 events you have to find. Instead of that, I am going to write 1 minus P of X less than 1. This is a faster way, some shortcut. So this is P of X is equal to 0. So this is 1 minus out of 4, 0 times success. 1% success is 60 by 10. So 0.6 power 0. 0.4 power 4. So 4C naught is 1. Power 0 is 1. So 0.4 power 4. And the choices were A is 0.6525. B choice is 0.9744. .8704. .0256. Of course, can use the calculator. What is the other shortcut? We will see this is 1 minus 0.4 square into 1 plus 0.4 square So this is 1 minus 0.16, 1 plus 0.16. So you'll get a 0.84 into 1.16. If you multiply the two numbers, whatever answer you get, that is answer. Or you can multiply 0.4, 0.16 into 0.16. This is 0.0256. 1 minus 0.0256, whatever answer comes, that's also. So whichever is easier, you can do. Any questions in this sub-answer? The next concept we are going to do is called Poisson distribution. There can also come questions like mode of a binomial distribution. The mode of a binomial distribution binomial distribution can be two modes or one mode based on what is the following. Suppose I multiply n plus 1 into p. If this is an integer, then mode is equal to largest integer contained in n plus 1 into p. Largest integer contained in n plus p, n to p and it will be comma n plus 1 into p minus 1. We will have two modes for integer. Suppose n plus 1p is a non-integer, mode will be equal to largest integer contained in n plus 1 into p. There will be only one mode. They can also ask you a combo binomial distribution. Suppose I have X is a binomial distribution. Whatever be n, say n1 comma p. Here this is 6 comma half. You have another binomial distribution y. Here the parameters are 4 comma 1 by 2. That means what? You have this is n, this is p, or n1 p. This is n2 p1 p. So probability of x plus y greater than or equal to 1. We already have seen the formula. That means if z equal to x plus y, what is z? This is a binomial distribution with the n1 will be 6 plus 4, 10, and p is half. Therefore, p of z greater than or equal to 1 will be equal to 1 minus p of x less than 1. Why? Because if I say greater than or equal to 1, I had to calculate the probability from 1 to 10. That means 1 to 10, 10 terms I have to write. Whereas here I am writing only 2 terms. This is a shortcut. So this is 1 minus 10c0 into half power 0 into half power 10. This is 1, this is 1. Next we are going to see what is the Poisson distribution. A Poisson distribution will occur in a binomial distribution. In a binomial distribution, if n is very high, if n is very high and p is very small, so the limiting case of binomial distribution is said to be Poisson distribution. In this case, we say that the probability that capital X takes a value small x, this is e power minus lambda into lambda power x by factorial x, where x values can be 0, 1, 2 up to infinity. Example, you are standing in a busiest junction. One full day, you know how many vehicles are passing. What is the probability of an accident? You know there are some cases, there are no accident. Maximum in a day, 2 accidents are coming. Totally 5 lakh vehicles are passing one full day, morning 6 to evening 10. Such a busy junction. Actually, how many accidents are happening? 2 or 3. 3 out of 5 lakh. 3 out of 10 lakhs. Like that, the number is very high, but the probability of that event occurring is very small. So if a variable, if a probability distribution is given by this probability function, then it is called a Poisson distribution. This is also a discrete random variable. Please note that this is also a discrete random variable. What do you mean by discrete random variable? Values are taken as 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Lambda is the mean of the distribution. The variance of the distribution is also lambda. So it has the same mean and variance. Lambda is same as NP. The formula is same. There are a lot of properties of Poisson distribution. Poisson distribution can also be unimodal or bimodal. So mode of a Poisson distribution. There are two cases. Mode is equal to lambda. The largest integer contained in lambda. If lambda is a non-integer. Is the largest integer or you can say this is m comma m minus 1 or lambda comma lambda minus 1 if lambda is an integer. In binomial distribution also, we have said that largest integer contained in n plus 1p. But largest, if n plus 1p is an integer, obviously the largest contained will be the same number. You need not find the largest integer. All the other problems are set. The standard deviation of a Poisson variate. The standard deviation of a Poisson variable, this is 1.732. What is the probability that the variate lies between minus 2.3 and when we say from variance lies between minus 2.3 to 3.68. When we say between, this equal to should not come. If we say from to, equal to will come. If I say between, less than. If I say from to, equal to, will also come. So how will we do this problem? So we are going to take only the integer values. So minus 2.3 to x 0. There is only one value 0 plus p of x is equal to 1 plus p of x is equal to 2 plus p of x is equal to 3. Because we also remember that x values can only be discrete values. It cannot be negative. Okay. So p of x is equal to 0. That is e power minus lambda into lambda power 0 by 0 factorial plus e power minus lambda into lambda power 1 by 1 factorial plus e power minus lambda into lambda square by 2 factorial plus e power minus lambda into lambda power 3 by 3 factorial. So e power minus lambda is common. Lambda power 0 is 1. 0 factorial is 1 plus lambda square by 2 plus lambda power 3 by 6. So this is e power minus 1.732 into 1 plus what is lambda now is the essential question. It is given that standard deviation is equal to 1.732. Therefore, what is lambda? Lambda is variance. What is the variance? 1.732 square. What is 1.732 square? Approximately, it is root 3 square. So 3. So instead of 1.732, we have to write 3. So we have a 3. This is 3. This is 9 by 2 plus 27 by 6. So we have a e power minus 3 into 4. So we have a 6. So we get a 24 plus 27 plus 27. So we'll get a e power minus 3 into mostly the question this value will be given. E power minus 3 value will be given. So based on that we can do it. Or you can take E is equal to approximately 2.71828. It's not a perfect value, it's an irrational number. Approximately you can take this. And you can simplify based on the answer. According to the choice, you can take the best value. So approximately the value will be 13 by 2.71828 power 3, because power minus 3 means reciprocal. For a Poisson variable, it is given x. It is given that p of x is equal to 1 is equal to p of x is equal to 2. what is the mean of x? We know that the mean of x is lambda is also equal to n into p. The choices are 1.00, 1.50, 2.00 and D 2.50. These are the four choices. We know that P of x is equal to 1. This is e power minus lambda into lambda power 1 by 1 factorial plus e power minus lambda into lambda square by 2 factorial. So e power minus lambda is common. You have lambda power 1 plus lambda square by 2. This is equal to actually it is given equal to. So e power minus lambda will cancel. If I cross multiply, you will get 2 lambda is equal to lambda square. So you will get lambda square minus 2 lambda equal to 0. You will get lambda equal to 0 or lambda is equal to 2. So lambda is 0 is not possible because n or p should be 0. Only then you will get lambda is 0. So it is not possible. So lambda is equal to 2. So answer choice is C. A random variable x is a Poisson variable. Its coefficient of variation, I don't know what is this. Its coefficient of variation is 50. What is the value of p of x greater than 1 given that p of x is greater than 0? The choices are 0.1876, 0.2341, 0.9254, 0.8756. Okay, now we have to recollect what is the coefficient of variation. we know that the coefficient of variation, this is sigma by x bar into 100, and this is given as 50. Sigma is standard deviation, that is in a Poisson distribution, this is root of npq by np into 100, and this is 50. So you will get 2. So npq by, if I square this, you will get n square p square this is 1 by 4. So you will cancel this. 1p will cancel. So you'll get a q by np is equal to 1 by 4. How to find what is given? P of x greater than 1, given that P of x greater than 0. The other way of doing this is you have a 1 minus p divided by np. This is 1 by 4. So if I cross multiply, you'll get 4 minus 4p is equal to n into p. So you'll get p is equal to, if I take it this side, you'll get a p by 4 by n plus 4. This is the probability. Now I want to find P of x greater than 1, given that P of x greater than 0. What do you mean by this? So we have to find P of x conditional probability definition. This is P of x greater than 0, greater than 1 and equal to 0. This is greater than 0. So we have to have what is the intersection of P of x greater than 1 and greater than 0. Intersection will be greater than 1 divided by P of x greater than 0. Why? Because P of A given B, formula is P of A intersection B by P of B. So P of x greater than 1, this is 1 minus P of x less than or equal to 1 by 1 minus P of x greater than 0 equal to 0. Because less than or equal to 0, only 0 will come. So 1 minus P of x less than or equal to 1, we calculate. 1 minus p of x less than 1. What is p of x less than 1? E power minus lambda into lambda power 0 by 0 factorial plus e power minus lambda into lambda power 1 by 1 factorial by 1 minus e power minus lambda into lambda power 0 by 0 factorial, and you can find that. If I calculate this, you will get 0.9254. The next concept we are going to do is called a normal distribution. Any doubts so far, please ask. This given conditional probability, all of you understood. Any questions, please ask. Greater than 1 and greater than 0. Common condition is greater than 1. Because if it is greater than 1, automatically it is also greater than 0. Greater than 1 because I am not sure about what is n. We cannot count 1 to n how many numbers. So we take only less than 1. Less than or equal to 1, opposite. Any question, please ask. You can post in the chat. Okay, before starting normal distribution, we'll take a 2-minute break and then continue. Hello, mic testing 1, 2, 3. So we resume. So now we are going to see a normal distribution. A normal distribution is a continuous distribution. That means X will take values a normal distribution is a continuous distribution. In the sense that X will take values in an interval. It can never take values, discrete values. In Poisson distribution, a normal distribution, X took the values, whereas in a normal distribution, it is a continuous distribution. Example, I want to find the probability that in 2021 May, the temperatures in Chennai will be between 48 and 50. Based on a lot of years of statistics, I can arrive at this. If it is a normal distributed random variable, then we can get values between 48 and 50. What is the probability? So to address questions like this, we have normal distribution. So a random variable is said to have a normal distribution if its probability density function is given by f of x is equal to it will sound like somewhat complicated, but we don't care about the derivation right now. Where x is between minus infinity to plus infinity, as I told you already, it's a continuous distribution. X can take the values minus infinity to plus infinity. Mu is called the mean of the normal distribution. Sigma is the standard deviation. So if any distribution is taking this kind of functional values, then we call it as a normal distribution. The graph of this distribution will be a bell-shaped curve. But this curve will never touch the x-axis. It will go nearer and nearer. X-axis is called an asymptote. For the distribution, this value is x is equal to mu. And they are equally distributed, you can see. And the maximum values will be restricted between minus sigma to plus sigma. If it is 0, so actually it is mu minus 3 sigma to mu plus 3 sigma. So the maximum range of the entire values will be maximum between 99.7% of the values will be between mu minus 3 sigma to mu plus 3 sigma. And all these values are integration based values. Generally, a normal distribution is given by the symbol. X is a normal distribution of mu comma sigma. There are two variables, two parameters, mu and sigma. The normal curve is generally symmetrical about the origin, symmetrical about the mean. You can see that the area on both sides are same. These two areas are same. There is another concept called as standardized random. Because this knowledge will be very high, I am going to convert this as Z is equal to X minus mu by sigma. In that case, we call it as Z is a normal distribution with parameters 0 and 1. Because when X is equal to mu, Z is 0. And when X is equal to sigma, you will get that 1. Mu minus sigma for this will be 1. Some people say instead of sigma, sigma square also, because sigma square, they both are random, both are parameters. And generally, this is a continuous random variable. So it is minus infinity to plus infinity. F of x dx will be equal to 1. Integration is 1. The first quartile, 1/4 of the distribution, will be observed between mu minus 0.675 sigma and mu plus 0.675 sigma. This is the second quartile. So quartile deviation of a random variable, normal distribution, is equal to 0.675 sigma. The mean deviation of a mean deviation is 0. sigma root 2. This is 0.8 sigma. There will be a random curve, there will be a normal curve. For example, given any x, we will convert it to z using the concept x minus mu by sigma. And for this, we are going to find using the normal curve. The normal curve table will be given. Area will be given under the normal curve. Generally, we say f of z is equal to 1 by sigma root 2 pi into e power minus z square by 2. So we'll do some problems now. If I convert this Z, the mean of Z bar is 0. You know that because Z is 0, 1. Mean, median, mode are all 0. The standard deviation of Z is 1. So sigma is 1 for a normal standardized and normal random variable. And you can see that this total area is approximately equal to 1. You can never find the area because this keeps on going, but maximum up to from here to here it is almost 1. So when we take a random variable, normalized normal random variable, standardized normal random variable, we approximately say, I'll draw the curve again. For a normalized random variable, this is Z equal to 0. When X is equal to mu, Z equal to 0. So this area is 0.5. So if I want to find P of Z less than say 2.5, that means what? Less than 2.5, suppose this is 2.5. Less than 2.5 includes everything till here. So what we can do, we can take this as 0.5. So this is 0.5 plus P of Z greater than 0, less than or 2.5. Because in the table, 2.5 means 0 to 2.5. Hello, mic testing 1, 2, 3. I'll repeat again. Suppose you want to find the value of Z less than 2.5. Z will come from where? Z is X minus mu by sigma. So we are converting that like this. So if I want to find P of Z less than 2.5, 0 to 2.5 only normal distribution table will come. There will be a normal distribution table. If possible, I'll try to download it from the internet and show it to you. I hope all of you are able to see the table. So this is called the normal distribution table. In this table, we are taking only values minus 3.9 to 0. That means here it is minus 3.90. You can add this 0.001 to here. So minus 3.9 plus 0.02. So it is minus 3.92. If I combine these two, it is Z value is minus 3.91. If I combine these two, it is minus 3.93. Like that, values are there. So it is minus 3.93 to 0. Only till 0, this area is given. So if I want to find P of Z greater than minus 3.9, what is the meaning of this? That means this is a normal curve. Minus 3.9 will come here. When I say greater than minus 3.9, the entire area after minus 3.9 will come. But the table is given only for minus 3.9 to 0. to the left of the, sorry, less than minus 3.9. So how do you calculate? Only not this value. The value is given for minus 3.9 less than that. Suppose I want to find minus 3.9 greater. So what is that? It is 1 minus P of Z less than or equal to minus 3.9. So we have to subtract according to the calculation. So it is always less than or equal to this number. Once again, I'll repeat. In this, the table values represent area to the left of the Z score. Suppose Z is minus 3.9. We are talking about the value. This area is P of Z less than or equal to minus 3.9. Suppose I want to find P of Z greater than 3.9. It is 1 minus this. So that value we have to subtract and calculate. But generally, what we do, for example, here, this is Z is 0.4. It is given what? Area to the left of the Z score. So this is the normal curve. 0.4, this value is 0.4, for example. It is given area to the left of the Z score. What do you mean by that? 0.4 less than or equal to mean the entire area to the left is given in this table. But generally there are a lot of tables which give only 0 to 0.4. What do you mean by that? This P of Z less than or equal to 0.4. Suppose I want 0 to 0.4. I want to find only this area. This is 0.5 minus P of Z greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 0.4. Will once again tell you, once again listen. Z, the entire area, this is 0.65542. Once again, I'll explain, please listen. The entire area to the left of the Z score is given. So P of Z less than or equal to 0.4 is 0.6542. But Z less than or equal to 0.4, from here to here it is 0.5. So this area alone, how will you find? 0.5 plus some area is equal to 0.65542. So what is this question mark? 0.65542 minus 0.5. So this is approximately equal to 0.15542. So the area between 0 and 0.4 is this value. So please remember this. So depending on the tables, the standard distribution table, sometimes the table will tell you it is 0 to that number. In that case, we have to add or subtract 0.5. I hope all of you are clear. Any doubts we can ask in the chat. Any of you are not clear about this normal distribution table concept, please tell. You can talk in the chat. Okay. The mean of a normal distribution is 500. The mean of a normal distribution is 500. And 16% of the values are greater than 600. 16% of the values are greater than 600. What do you mean by that? P of x greater than or 600 is 16%. This is the meaning, mathematical way of writing this. Now, what is the standard deviation of the distribution? Sigma is equal to what? Now, there is an extra data given. Given that the area between z equal to 0 and 1 is 0.34. I told you already that the table which I showed says it is to the left entirely. But generally all the tables will sell 0 to that number only. So the value between 0 and 1 is given as 0.34. What do you mean by that? In a normal curve, this value represents the mean 500. So this is z equal to 0, z equal to 1. Between 0 and 1, the area is 0.34. That is what it means. Okay. Now, P of z x greater than 600 is 16 by 100. 1 minus P of x less than or equal to 600. This is 16 by 100. In other words, this is 425. So what is P of x less than or equal to 600? This is equal to 1 minus 4 by 25. So this is 21 by 25. You can calculate the decimal value. Suppose I want to convert into z. P of z less than or equal to, what is z? X minus, this is the x minus mu by sigma. So 600 minus 500 by sigma. This is equal to 21 by 25. When I say z less than or equal to this value, what do you mean by that? The entire left is this. So this is 0.5 plus 0 to 1 by sigma. Once again we will see. So 500 to 600, that means 0 to what number? 600. So when we say 1 minus that, that means this area is what? This is P of I think this is 100. So P of Z less than or equal to 100 by sigma. This is 21 by 25. 21 by 25 is approximately what? 21, 25. 210. 25 fours are 25 eights are 200. So 10. So 0.84. So this area is 0.84. Okay. Now this 0.84, what do you mean by area? Is that already I told you. This is 1 by sigma. To the left entirely for this value is 0.5. Suppose I subtract 0.5 from this. That is P of Z greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 100 by sigma. This is 0.34. Why 0.34? You have to subtract. But in the question, what is given? P of Z greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 1 is given as 0.34. Therefore, these two should be same. 100 by sigma is equal to 1. So sigma is 100. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, confusions in this calculation, please ask. Please understand that when I say less than or equal to, the entire area to the left will come. That is why here, when we say less than or equal to this is 0.84, I am subtracting 0.5 to make it between 0 and this. Because to the left of 0, approximately the area is 0.5. So 0.5 plus something is 0.84. Any questions, please ask. You can post in the chat any doubts. In a sample of 800 students, the mean weight, in a sample of 800 students, the mean weight and standard deviation, we are assuming a normal distribution. In a sample of 800 students, the mean weight and the standard deviation are found to be 50 and 20 kg respectively. What is the number of students weighing between 46 kg and 62 kg? What is given? The area between Z equal to 0 to Z equal to 0.6. This is 0.2257. Okay. Now, what is the probability that the weight of the students is between 46 and 62? In a normal distribution, that equal to will not affect, don't worry. Okay, so this is Z greater than 46 minus 50 by 20 less than 62 minus 50 by 20. I am converting to Z. So this is P of Z greater than, this is minus 4 by 20, minus 0.2. Less than 12 by 20. So 12 by 20 is 3 by 5. So 0.6. Now this I can write as P of minus 0.2 less than Z less than 0 plus P of Z greater than 0 less than 0.6. It is also given the area between Z equal to 0 to Z equal to 0.2. This is equal to 0.0793. Okay. Once again, I'll explain what is the concept. This is the normal distribution. You want to find the area between minus 0.2 to 0.6. So I am splitting into two parts. Minus 0.2 to 0 is one part, 0 to 0.6. Because the normal distribution is symmetric about the mean, minus 0.2 area and plus 0.2 area are same. So this is P of Z greater than 0, less than 0.2. Why less than 0.2? Because the curve is symmetrical, the left hand side area and the right hand side area are same. Plus P of Z greater than 0, less than 0.6. So this is 0.0793 plus 0.2257. So once I calculated the area, this is equal to 3 plus 7, 10, 15, 5, 1, 10, 0, 1, 3. This is the probability, this is the area. I want to find how many students are there. So what is the number of students? Totally 800. Among that, this area will come. So 0.3050. If you multiply, you get the approximate. So if you multiply, you will get, you can cancel the 0, you get 8 5s are 44, 28, extra 2 zeros, totally 3 decimals. So this will go 284. Maybe it is 244. 24, 244. So the answer is 244. The salary of workers in a factory is known to follow a binomial distribution with an average salary of 10,000. So mu is equal to 10,000. And the standard deviation is given as 2,000. If 50 workers receive salary greater than 14,000, what do you mean by that? The number of workers receiving salary greater than 14,000. Suppose n. So n into P of x greater than 14,000. This is equal to 50. How do I say that? Because this is a probability and the total number of workers is n. So the number of people who get this salary is this. When I say greater than 14,000, that means n into P of Z greater than 14,000 minus 10,000 by 2,000. This is 50. What in by Z greater than this? This is a normal distribution. This is a center. Greater than 14,000. This is the 14,000. This is some area. So what is 0 to that number? This area, how will you find? The entire right hand side is 0.5. Okay, so this implies n into P of Z greater than 4,000 by 2,000, that is 2. This is 50. Z greater than 2. This area is what? This implies n into 0.5 minus P of Z greater than 0 less than 2. Less than or equal to 2. This is 50. Zero to 2. What is the value given? 0 to 2. From the table you can see. Or they will give you the example. The value is 0 to 2 is 0.4772. So this is n into 0.5 minus 0.4772. This is 50. So n is equal to 50 divided by, how much is this? 0.5 minus 0.4772. So we'll get 8, 9 minus 7, 2, 2, 0. So 50 by 0.20228. So if we divide, you will get approximately. Yeah. Now you can check with the answer. From the choice, you can go for this. You can check 2,500 or what. It is approximately 2,193. So any questions you can please ask now. I hope all of you are clear with the distributions. How 800 in what? 800 is the number of total number. Here they are given that out of 800 people, the sum, when I read the sum, in a sample of 800 students, the mean weight is given. So to find the number of people having a particular value, we multiply that number into this. The probability that one person is between 0 and 1. So we'll complete with this. I was not able to complete all the things because there are so many concepts in distributions. Tomorrow we'll try to complete index numbers and probably something else. Maybe I'll go to some kind of mathematical concepts like sets, relations, and functions. So with that, we'll complete the class. Thank you. Any questions you can ask. I hope the distributions part was clear.